A plea for the federal government to investigate the Fulton County court system. A group focused on eliminating crime in Buckhead is asking the U.S. Attorney General to intervene, calling the Fulton County system broken. Caitlin Ross joins us. Caitlin, you have a letter they sent to Washington requesting action.
According to the letter, the county court system needs federal intervention. Amber Connor is the administrator of the Fighting Crime in Buckhead group that's been active in trying to reform the court system. She fired off the letter to Attorney General William Barr, saying the court is too lenient on repeat offenders. We have covered a few high-profile cases where the offenders have been accused of committing other crimes after being released on bond or probation, like Amon Coleman, one of the suspects in a shooting near Clark Atlanta's campus, or Jaden Myrick, the man who allegedly killed Christian Broder after a wedding reception in Brookhaven. Coleman was out on bond for allegedly shooting up an apartment complex. Myrick was on probation for another robbery.
There is not an easy answer. There are a number, in my view, of small answers that need to be taken piece by piece and again put together with a crime system, with a number of people who are together who can give input to what's going on. Because absent that, and absent the people listening, and I'm talking about the judicial system, the prosecutors, the police department, and putting together a coordinated effort, we are in really deep trouble.
So what does the Fulton County District Attorney think of all of this? We'll have his response coming up at 6.
All right, Caitlin, thank you. Georgia's soon-to-be newest senator took a private tour today of the Port of Savannah. It has been one of Kelly Loeffler's few public appearances since Governor Kemp announced she would be replacing Senator Johnny Isakson. But today she talked with reporters. 11 Alive's Doug Richards was among them, and he has more from the Georgia coast.
So we are in Savannah because for weeks, Kelly Loeffler's staff has turned away our requests for an interview with her. So when they told us that she would tour the Port of Savannah and then take questions afterward, we made the drive. Loeffler has maintained a guarded public profile since Governor Kemp named her a month ago to succeed U.S. Senator Johnny Isakson, who resigned due to health issues. Loeffler's social media has shown her in spots sometimes far from Atlanta, like Augusta and Homerville and Carrollton, and now Savannah. We asked Loeffler about her low-key run-up to assuming her Senate seat next week.
This is why I wanted to do the job, is to work for Georgia. And so this has been incredibly helpful for me as I think about approaching Washington and really working for our state.
Loeffler will enter the Senate as a wealthy businesswoman whose husband is reportedly worth $500 million and owns the New York Stock Exchange. Loeffler told us she's taking steps to set aside her business interests. She would not commit to releasing her tax returns.
So I'm looking at making sure that I comply with both the spirit and the letter of the law, and making sure that all the disclosures are very clear, and certainly will do everything that's required.
Loeffler also discussed the impeachment of President Trump, which will be one of the first orders of business of the Senate after she assumes her seat next week. You will hear what she said from Savannah at 6.
All right, Doug, we will see you then. Thank you.